Welcome to Senior Break. I'm Dawn Medici with Oxford Township Parks and Recreation.
And I'm Marie May with Addison Township Senior Center. And our special guest today is Dan Gar, and he is with HealthQuest. Welcome, Dan.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Dan, we have a HealthQuest right here in Oxford.
Right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started here in Oxford,
Sure.
and what your specialty is.
Perfect. Well, thanks for having me again. This is really
Yes.
great. So HealthQuest Physical Therapy was started 24 years ago by two friends of mine in Rochester Hills. And after they were in it for a few years, we had worked together in a different company for a while. Then I came back and they said, hey, how'd you like to open up a clinic for us in Oxford? I said, where's Oxford? And I knew it was up here. So we came up here and 18 and a half years ago, we opened up our clinic in downtown Oxford.
Wow.
Where Brain Balance used to be right across from the Oxford Bank. And so we were there for about 10 years. And then we moved to our new facility about 8.5 years ago down the street. So big A-frame metal roof building, closer to Drainer, double the size. We have a big gym in the back now, much bigger clinic, and it's been awesome. It's been great. So I became a therapist after working in the athletic training world for a couple of years and seeing that I like that kind of work. I like working with athletes and even older people who are senior athletes, really. And then we said, well, I need to get to where I want to be by owning my own clinic. I have to be a therapist, so I went back to PT school to Oakland. Got my degree, and then that's how this all started. Worked for a while, and now we're here in Oxford. So. It's great. It's great. I love my job. You know, every day is not perfect, but it's fun meeting all the people we meet and helping them get better. And we work with healthy people, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. We're not working with sick people all the time. People who usually want to get better, they're willing to work hard, and we coach them. They do the work. They get better.
Right.
So how do we get in the door?
Sure, great question. So my standing line when I do marketing things with the Chamber or the Oxford Power Networking Group, I said, hey, I'm a physical therapist, I fix things. We all fix things. I fix body parts, right?
Right.
So we get referrals from doctors. If somebody screws up their shoulder, neck, hip, knee, back, they go see their doctor refers them to us, we have a prescription. And then we see them for usually 1 to 2 months, 2 or 3 times a week. They come in and we'll talk about the daily activities they do. But there's a lot of ways people can come to see us. Referral from a doctor is number one.
Okay.
A lot of times they get referred by a friend or family member who's been to us before and they like their services and said, why don't you come on, go see the guys at HealthQuest.
So you don't have to have a referral from a doctor?
Well, legally, no.
Right.
Legally, Michigan has a law that it's called direct access, which means without a prescription, we can see you for up to 10 visits or 21 days without a prescription. We can bill your insurance. Most insurances will allow it. Some of the bigger insurances think they're bigger than the law, and they said, well, we're not paying unless we have a prescription. We do what we can for our patients as we can. But for 10 visits or 21 days, they can come in. After that time frame, if they need more therapy, we need to have a prescription.
Okay.
Now, beside that, if someone tweaks their back, cranks their hip, screws up their shoulder doing something, they can always come in for a free consultation. And what that is, they call and schedule a half-hour appointment. And it's about 20 or 30 minutes with a licensed therapist. We do a quick evaluation, then we tell them what we think is going on, whether they need to go see a doctor if it's that bad, or if there's a couple things they can do at home on their own. And then we give them options of what they can do to come and see us.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the Oxford hours?
Right.
How many people do you have on staff? And when people come in and get scheduled for therapy, can they have a special request for a specific therapist, or a male or female, or how does that whole process work?
Yeah, one of the differences we have at HealthQuest, and there's a few other locations in the area, we open at 6 in the morning.
Wow,
And
that's great.
It's early, and we close at 8 p.m., except Friday we close at 6. We also have Saturday hours from 8 to 12. There's been a number of times where I've been double booked at 6 a.m., and I might tell the patient, look, if the lights are on, come on in. I get here at 5:15. If at 5:30 you're here, come on in, we'll get you started.
Okay.
I've seen patients on Sunday, I've seen patients on holidays if they need to be seen for special things, or we stay later on Saturday. We do what we can. Although we have home lives and family lives, we like to do whatever we can for our patients. So we have about 7 physical therapists, we have about 15 technicians, and then we have 4 or 5 exercise specialists or personal trainers on our gym side who continue to have our patients move by signing up with our trainers when they're done with us. We tell our patients when they're discharged, keep moving. Whether you work out on your own, at your home, in your own gym, with your own trainer, or hire one of our trainers and come to our gym and use our gym. Stay moving, that's the key to how everything works. If somebody has a special request, if someone's been to us before and they like their therapist, they can say, hey, can I be with this specific therapist?
Okay.
We try to make that happen. I like to have each patient see 2 therapists. I want 2 cooks in your kitchen, because somebody might add a little different spice than I add, and they may say, wow, whatever Julie did with me last time was amazing. I'll say,
Yes.
okay, hey Julie, what did you do with Dawn last
Right.
time? I want to do the same thing, plus a little different.
It's a good idea.
A lot of people
is.
want one person, but I said, let's get another set of eyes and hands on you, which is normally pretty effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from my experience,
Right.
because I've been to Health Quest and I can't say enough about the Oxford location and the staff, including the front desk people. They are the face of your business, and they have all been amazing to work with. And I do agree with that statement that I may be with one therapist that I really like, but someone else might push me a little bit more or do something different to help
Right.
improve. And you're right, you notice that difference. So,
Exactly.
and it's not that the first person did anything wrong, it's just this other individual saw something different or thought, let's try this. And
Right.
it definitely helps.
Exactly. I always tell my patients, I said, if there's an iceberg of knowledge of physical therapy, I've been doing this for a long time, I feel like I have a small Slurpee cup of knowledge. There's a lot more that we can all
Right.
learn by learning from other colleagues or videos or continuing education. The design of the body hasn't changed much. How we treat it should. So we always have to find new ways to treat it, new ways to mobilize, move,
Right.
progress things along.
And the patient might say something to the therapist that he didn't say to the first one.
Right.
So
Exactly.
they get more information that way too.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Good
Yeah.
way to get additional information.
Yeah.
So does your staff all have to have certain certifications, and what does that all look like, and how much time is involved in that, and do they have to maintain and upkeep that as
Right.
well?
Yeah, the APTA, and to keep our license, we have to have a number of continuing education units
Okay.
throughout I think it's a 2-year process. So HealthQuest has 8 or 9 internal continuing education courses for our therapists. So if all of our therapists take these courses, they have all their CEUs pretty much met for the year or 2 years.
Okay.
We also allow and pay for our therapists to go out if they find a course through Great Lakes Seminars or a different seminar company and they want to take this course, we'll pay for that course for them to come back and learn it, but they have to come back and at least teach us what they learned.
Okay.
So they didn't go there and just kind of mess around. So, but
Yeah.
they don't. But it's all pretty cool because now at this point in our lives, we're not learning something that we have to spit back out on a test and hope we pass.
Right.
This is stuff that we can learn and bring back to the clinic and use right away on Monday after the weekend course.
Right, well,
So
that's
it's
good to
good.
know.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Very good.
because continuing education is a must, because things are constantly changing.
Exactly.
So I'm sure the way somebody had a knee replacement 15 or 20 years ago is different how a knee replacement is now, so that could affect their recovery process after having a knee replacement.
Right.
And so your staff would have to have some of that knowledge and upkeep of that
course.
education, right?
Of course. I had
Okay.
that conversation with a patient this week with a knee replacement. And I said, I remember back when I first started, people with knee replacements or ACL reconstructions, they would come in a full knee immobilizer with that knee straight, and the doctor would say, don't bend that knee for 2 weeks. Okay, but then when they took that immobilizer off, trying to bend that knee was like trying to bend a piece of iron. I was like, oh my gosh. Now, people who have knee replacements, it's an outpatient surgery. You're
Right.
in and out the same day. And when you get back to the room, someone's in there saying, okay, let's go for a walk.
Right.
Like, what? I just had my knee opened up. But they walk, they go, and they get home. So
Yeah.
the process is much quicker, much more efficient, and we're getting people moving better,
And it
quicker, and
works.
earlier. And
Yeah.
it works,
And
exactly,
it works,
right.
It
Yeah.
works.
So we have to go to break.
'Kay.
But when we come back, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about what would a normal visit look like.
Sure.
All right, so when we
Awesome.
get back, we'll get that insight from Dan.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, this is former Detroit Lion Rob Rubik and former Lapeer, Michigan school teacher. You're currently watching OCTV, Oxford Community Television. Enjoy it.
Welcome back to Senior Break. As I mentioned before break, we were going to talk to Dan about what a visit would look like and maybe the whole process from beginning to end. So Dan, I've been given a prescription from my doctor, and I've torn the tendon in my hand and my wrist,
Right.
and I come in. So what happens when I walk in?
Okay, well, there's two different aspects of that. The first visit is your first evaluation. We set up an hour for that. So it's a full hour with a therapist. We can get a full history, do all our measurements, get an idea, and set up a plan for you. So that takes an hour. You come in, there's a lot of paperwork, unfortunately, but that's what insurance
Right.
companies and lawyers make us do. What you said earlier, too, about how people are greeted when they first come in, I tell my front office team, I said, who in the world wouldn't want to come in and meet you with the way they answer the phone? So positive, inviting, how can we help you, what more can we
Right.
do? When people walk in, they're greeted by first name, how are you, how's it going, talk about weather, whatever it is. It's a very inviting, very good first
Yes,
step. So I think
yes.
our front office team is the best.
And that makes a big difference,
Absolutely.
a
Right.
big difference.
Yeah,
Yes, it
first
does.
impression, right?
Yes.
So then the first day, you'd be brought back to a room, and we would go through a history, subjective history. We do all of our measurements. We do some kind of a treatment, give you a home exercise program to start with on day one. And then when you come back for your second visit, a normal visit is you come in, our technicians would bring you back, and our technicians are very well trained in exercises, and they'll take you through the exercises that the therapist sets you up with. If you have any issues, we tell the patient if something's too easy or too difficult, let us know. We can either bump it up or bump it down.
Right.
And then you'll work with a therapist, and a therapist will either do mobilization, stretching, movement patterns, functional work, whatever it may be that you need to get yourself better for the time we have with you. And then at the end, if it's required or requested, we'll do heat or ice if needed, or tell you what to do. The most important thing about the whole physical therapy experience is what are you doing at home? Coming
Yes.
to the clinic twice or 3 times a week doesn't mean
No.
a hill of beans if you're
No.
not doing your homework.
Right.
That's where the rubber meets the road. And the people who do it are the ones who continually get better. The people who don't will tell us they're doing it, but we'll say, you're doing it, but your arm still isn't moving any good. How much of these did you do? Well, I did them all day yesterday. Okay, well, maybe we have to change it up a little bit. So we challenge them a little bit. We try to
Yeah.
believe them, but sometimes
Right.
they'll tell us what they think we want to hear.
Yeah.
But then we find new ways to do it. I tell my team, every second or third visit, we need to change a couple exercises, change a couple ways we're doing what we're doing, because if we're just cookie cutting things day after day, people are going to say, well, this is boring. We're not doing anything new. We always want to keep things changing
Right.
and moving.
Right.
So that's what a normal day is.
All right, so I've now have seen the tech, and I've worked with a therapist, and I'm in my last visit. What does that last day,
Sure.
that visit look like? And what's provided to me as the patient so that I can continue to be
question.
active and keep my wrist strong?
Sure. So the last day is kind of a celebration. Hey, you graduated. It's graduation day. Congratulations. You've met most of the goals we've set. You're ready to move on to do the stuff at your home, at home, and this is where it's most important. So we do a couple final measurements. We compare and we say, hey, Dawn, look, on day one you were here. Today, look where you are
Right.
now. This is an amazing improvement. I know you're not completely pain-free yet, but you don't need us anymore. We kind of cut the cord and say, you're on your own, my friend.
Okay.
Let's go get this done. We give you home exercises to do. We give you rubber bands or instructions. We use a system called MedBridge, and so through the MedBridge program, you'll receive an email from us with all the exercises in video format. We also give them to you on paper, so you'll have those with you. Then what we like to do is set up a recheck appointment. I say in 6 weeks, let's set something up for you to come back for just another free recheck, no charge, no cost to insurance. We just want to review and see where you are. A lot of people on that 6-week mark, they'll call us the day before and say, guys, I don't need to come in. I'm doing so well. Thank you for all
Right.
your help. It's
Yep.
great. But if they do like to see, have I improved or reduced or stayed the same from where I was when I was discharged?
Yeah. So, and I noticed, not frequently, but maybe once a quarter, maybe it is, I get a text message from HealthQuest here in Oxford that says, hey, just checking in,
Right.
let us know how you're doing. So
Right.
that follow-up, you know, when I first got that first message, I was like, okay, this is great, because they care about me as a
Right.
patient, and they're interested in knowing and how I'm doing. And at that point, I felt if there was something truly not right still, that I didn't have to be embarrassed, or felt comfortable in reaching out and saying, hey, yeah, I'm not doing too good, type
That's
of
what
thing.
a lot of
So-
people say, that they'll come back for the same problem and they'll tell me, I didn't do my homework, it's bugging me again, I need a reset. I said, okay, I'll reset you one more time, but I don't want to see you again for this back problem. You sprain
Right.
your ankle, come back and see me. But if you
Right.
come back for the same back or hip or knee or wrist problem, either I didn't do my job, you didn't do your job, or we
Right.
didn't do our job together.
Together,
Right.
right.
So that's where it is. It's all
Yeah.
about accountability, making the patient know that, look, it's not my problem, it's your problem. I'm more of a coach than a healer.
Sure.
Let me show you what to do. Ball's in your court, make it happen, get it
But
done.
that's good to know that you wouldn't have to go back to the doctor first.
Right,
You could get
no.
your opinion of what's going on
Correct,
first.
correct.
Because you've got the history.
Right,
Right.
right.
That's good to know.
Right,
All right, so we've celebrated and we're on our way.
right.
Outside of just the physical therapy, HealthQuest also offers some other programs
Right.
that I, as a patient, could continue to do or utilize. Why don't you tell us
Right.
a little bit
Sure.
about those program offerings?
We love to have our discharged patients come back to us and use our gym as their home gym workout facility. It's a smaller gym, it's not like a Planet Fitness. So it's a little smaller. Some people like that, some people like the big box, and that's fine, go do it. Again, move, keep moving, do what you gotta do. So we offer gym memberships on a monthly basis, a yearly basis. We also have personal training. We have 3 or 4 personal trainers who you can sign up with, and it's a pay for that service
Sure.
on your own. And these trainers are great. They work so hard on your form, proper form. They're not in there to see you pump as much weight as you can and break yourself. They want to make sure you're moving correctly and work you hard. And whether you're young, middle-aged, or old, they love our trainers.
Yes.
So we have younger male trainers, younger female trainers, middle-aged female trainers, but they all can modify what they're doing for someone who's just beginning an exercise program or somebody who's been exercising their whole lives.
Okay.
So we work on those as well. And then the gym membership and/or, again, that recheck we talked about earlier. So those are the things.
Okay, and you said that these services you have to pay for. So if for some of our viewers that are active seniors or just seniors that want to get involved and to be doing something physically, in a gym or a class, are there any incentives or types of things that they should look into to
Sure.
help cover the cost
Right.
of joining your gym or hiring a trainer or participating in a class?
A lot of the Medicare policies have a silver sneakers aspect to it, and there's other names. A lot of insurances have their own little name of silver sneakers, but basically your insurance as a senior will pay for you to come in and work out. So it's covered through the silver sneakers or whatever. There's 100 names, and we accept most of those. So they come in, they have a little key fob, they check in, costs them nothing,
Okay.
and they come in and work out. And it's really, really cool. And a lot of times I'll ask my therapist or technicians, hey, if you have an extra minute, just walk through the gym. Just go say hi to a few people, ask them how they're doing. Is there anything I can help you with?
Right.
Because they'll
That's what I
always
was
have a
gonna-
question. How do I use that machine? How much
Right.
weight should I be doing?
Yeah.
And we're happy to help for that short amount of time. Sometimes they ask a lot of questions. We say,
Yes.
Mary, I've got to get going, man. I got another patient.
Yes.
But for the most part, we're always there to help. We want to make sure that they're doing things correctly.
So do they have to reserve that time ahead of time with
No.
you if they're going to use the gym, or is it just walk in?
Walk in. Mhm.
That's good.
Walk in and use it.
Yeah,
And
That's good, because if
any
they're
day
in the
from home.
neighborhood, they could just
Right.
go in.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
You're
And the trainers will have certain times that they work out their patients, such as like a personal
Yes,
trainer
yes.
you would hire. But,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
but they're excellent, yeah.
Yeah.
And so then you would just schedule that one-on-one with those trainers?
Right. And they sell them by packages like 6 visits, 10, 12, 18 visits.
Okay.
And the more you buy, obviously, the cheaper it is.
Yeah.
And they hold you to a schedule. And if you're not there, they call you. Hey, man, I had you on for 10 o'clock. Where are you?
Right.
We're going to double dip next time. We're going
Yeah.
to work you harder. So
Yeah.
pretty cool.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
okay.
I also want to share with everyone that HealthQuest does offer some fitness classes through the Parks and Recreation. Some of those classes are held here at our Seymour Lake Township Park. And then the other classes are held right at HealthQuest.
Correct.
So if you're interested in checking out the fitness classes that HealthQuest offers, please look at your Parks and Recreation brochure for that class information, or you're welcome to reach out to HealthQuest.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a nice studio in the front of our building when people drive up and down 24, big glass there. We have a couple trainers in there who do some exercise classes, and then right after the exercise class, they have a relaxing or restorative yoga hour. So they beat you up in the class, and then they slow the music down, and it's a very, very easy stretching thing, and that class is growing. So
That's
Leslie's
great.
doing a great job with that, and we're getting more people involved, which is awesome. So.
All right, Dan, I think that's all the questions we have for you today. We
Perfect.
want to thank you for coming
Thank you.
in
Yeah,
and
thank you.
sharing this information with our community. And please stop into HealthQuest just to check it out. Or don't be afraid to give them a call and inquire. So thank you, Dan.
Very good.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Dan.
having me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
All
day.
right. Yep.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
We'll be right back.
Canine Stray Rescue is Oxford's own local dog rescue. Call them at 248-628-0435 or go to their website dogsaver.org and click on the Canine Stray Rescue League link.
Welcome back to Senior Break. Wow, Dan was really a wealth of
Yes,
information, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, because a lot of people are afraid to take that first step and go.
Right.
Where he made it seem like
It
it's
was
an
An
it's-
easy process.
Yes, yes.
And that I really like that they have that consult, so you don't
I do
have to
too.
go see your doctor before going to see him
Right.
at Health or one of their therapists at HealthQuest.
Yes.
You can come in for that free consultation, and I think that's really important.
It's
so,
really important.
if
Yeah.
you feel you need to have someone take a look at, maybe it's your elbow, maybe it's your shoulder, a knee,
Or
your
to
back.
use the gym.
Right.
To use the gym would be a great thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you stop out and visit them or give them a call at HealthQuest in Oxford. So they all have a great service that they can provide. So don't hesitate to stop in or give them a call. Yeah.
How is your garden growing?
Our community garden
Yes.
is coming along. Our plants that are in the greenhouse are starting to get some growth to them.
Okay.
We're kind of waiting on the weather. Sometime around Memorial Day, whether it's just before or right after, we're going to actually take those plants and plant them in the garden. So
great,
we're
great.
making some progress.
Okay, and do you have an opening date for the,
Farmers Market?
Farmers Market?
We do. Our opening date is this Saturday,
Oh.
May the 13th. 9 a.m. is a ribbon cutting. 4 p.m. we're doing a
Okay.
dedication for the Davis family for the pavilion. The market will be open from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I believe we have all 20 vendors. We've filled the farmers market.
oh, great.
And then that will be open on every Saturday, I believe, through September or October from 9 to 2. So if you can't make it out this Saturday, come on out. Every Saturday throughout the summer, the market will be open.
Oh, I'm
So,
excited about that one.
I
For all
am
the
too.
fresh
Yes.
vegetables and
I'm
fruits.
really excited. So yeah. So I had heard right now they are looking for senior women
Yes,
for the Miss Senior Michigan.
pageant.
The pageant, yes. So what's going on with
Well,
that? Where are we at?
I saw on TV last night on the news that they were advertising it, which is so good. And they have a couple more people, and the deadline is in June. I think it's June 15th. So if anybody's interested, over 60, running, and it's so much fun.
In the pageant,
In the
not
pageant.
physically running.
Yeah, sorry, running in the pageant, yes. Please apply. Please apply. And it's just a lot of fun. You meet so many women that you'll have as lifetime friends.
Yes.
They really stick together. And then they crown, if you just want to go and see how it is, it's going to be in July, and that'll be at OPC in Rochester.
Okay.
And they run it just like a
A
pageant,
pageant.
except no bathing suits.
Okay.
That's the first thing all the women ask me, but
Yeah.
no bathing suits. But it's great.
All right.
Yes, please join us. Join us.
Wow, I can't believe it's already been a year since we
Yeah.
had our last
Queen.
Miss Senior Michigan on the show.
Yes,
So
she's gonna, yeah.
yeah, she's going to turn over her crown.
So you have to crown the new person.
Yes.
And it's a happy, sad type thing
It
because once you crown them, you think there's parades and there's so much to do. And once they get the crown in their head, they turn into queens.
Yes.
They actually turn into queens, and they want to be in the parades.
Yes.
And they want to do all these things. It's great.
Yes.
It's really great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, good. So I know we have a couple of things coming up with our programs. So we have another one here in May.
And then in June, I think we're going to tape in Edison at our township, the second show.
Yep.
Yeah. So
So
come
I
out and
believe
see
it's
that.
the 16th or the 15th of
15th.
June.
Yeah.
We're going to be out at Addison. So
That'll be fun.
please either come out to see us there for the show, or be sure to watch for it on OCTV.
Yeah.
So, well, good.
So what have you got going this week?
Oh, this week we're actually it's a busy week, but it's a quiet busy for me. Next week is going to be much busier. We're going to have coffee and conversation on Tuesday at 9 a.m. in the Senior Center. Our guests will be myself, Jeff Kyness, and Mary Raleigh from the Oxford Community Garden to talk about the community garden. So if you're interested, please come out and join us for that. Next week, Friday, Bruce is going to be here at the Oxford Senior Center to do his presentation on Hudson's.
Oh, good,
Yes.
good.
So we only have a few spots left. I think we had like 7 or so spots left because we have a capacity for this event.
You're talking about spots, meaning seats.
Seats, right.
Okay.
So I think it was either 6 or 7 seats left
Wow.
as of this morning. Our max capacity is 80.
Oh, to hear
Yeah.
him speak.
To hear him speak, yes.
He is so interesting.
He is interesting,
You gotta go.
yes.
You gotta go.
Yep, so if you're interested
He's
in
very good.
going to that, please make sure you contact the Parks and Recreation Department to get registered. It doesn't cost anything to come see Bruce. The only cost that there's 2 possibly. If you decide you want to get a Maurice salad to take with you, that would be $10. And Bruce's book.
Yeah.
So, and I don't recall how much his book was, but
I think around 60 or
$60.
70. Yeah, 60
so,
or $70.
either bring your checkbook or cash, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's
so,
right.
Yeah, so we're really excited to have Bruce
Yeah. Well
back,
done.
back with us.
Have a great week.
Yes.
And at Addison, we're the people that normally take the summers off, my leaders,
Sure.
are not.
Okay, so,
So we keep the same,
Right.
the same thing going, which is really good.
right,
Because the people don't want to miss their classes.
right.
So that's good.
That's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
So if any of our viewers have any class or programs or hobbies or something that you like to do and you would like us to offer in our centers, please reach out to Marie or myself and we can have a conversation with you. We're always looking for new ideas, new programs, new hobbies to be able to share with our community. So,
I hear your euchre dinner
yes.
is excellent.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
we are
a lot of my
selling out.
Edison people are out here, and
Are-
they love it. Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's-
So-
yeah.
Please give us a call, whether to get registered for something or to inquire. We're always available to answer questions, seek new ideas, and offer new programs. So, all right,
Till
Marie,
next time.
Till next time. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Have a great week.
Yeah, thank you.